morning. Welcome to sunrise. Let's wait a little bit. Stroll and chat and share. There's quite a bit of cloud again this morning. So we're waiting for that surprise when the sun shows its face. Here at the Sea of Galilee. It's great to have you back. It's a very quiet morning. The water is very, very calm, delightful. Already had my swim. You can see the water here. It's really delightful, calm, serene, peaceful. We have those kind of mornings, and we have windy mornings and rainy mornings and snowy mornings, and not here. No snow in Galilee, but I've never seen snow in Galilee. I haven't heard about snow in Galilee. I doubt we get it. This little birdie is always there. Another one over here, so I must be in their property. They want me out. Look at how still it is. Some of our visitors left a chair there tumbled. Imagine the real Sea of Galilee. You want to dip in your toe? Let's find a nice place for you, because this is a lake, so it's a lake edge. So you have all the organic material from nature and from human beings who leave their stuff here, and the wind blows it here. And then you have the little pebbles and the stones. And a bigger little rock. And you can put your hand in here, and you can touch the water. So this is the real Sea of Galilee. Jesus walked on this water. Can you imagine? The storm on the sea. This is Galilee. This is the beauty of nature everywhere in the world. But the Sea of Galilee is obviously charged with special delight for us. And all the history here. In the land of Nebulun and Nebulun and Zephtali. Zebulun and Naphtali. In the land of Zebulun and Naphtali. In a place beyond the sea, the way of the sea. At the Jordan. And it's amazing, we're in the middle of August almost. And here you see the water still pouring in. We have channeled it a little bit so it's not destructive and it gets to the lake without damaging the archaeology. So this is an effort to protect this first century town we've excavated. It's good to have a little stroll in the morning anywhere in the world, but it's especially nice here at the Sea of Galilee. So we gathered this morning to enjoy God's gifts. Because no matter where we wake up, even on a hospital bed or in a very sad mood, we're alive and have the gift of life. There's a little tinge of brighter colour coming on the cloud over there. Let's look at it more closely. And we can see and we can hear. There's a little tinge coming on the cloud there. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So that's a sign the sun is getting closer. Coming into view. And we celebrate the gifts of life, what God has given us, in His abundance, in His creative power. With all His beauty, which is revealed in the little beauties that we see. But the beauty of God is unfathomable. We'll have to stretch a lot to take it in. It is so good, you know. I love those little centers of these flowers. They look like another flower. Look at that. Those are bougainvillea. Bougainvillea were brought here, I've heard, by the Franciscans. I don't have that in writing, but you know, the missionaries in the past in every country brought such a wealth of culture and knowledge and interest and human development. Sometimes there's a type of a classical negative portrayal of missionaries, and that's unfortunate because they do so much good. I think it's a little bit like that parable of the weeds being sown among the wheat at night time. So much good is done. Like, just think of even humanly the internet, such a great invention, and then people developed viruses for it. Can you imagine finding something so good and developing a virus to damage people's programs and equipment and work that they did put up? Yesterday, because of a confrere of mine, he told me about an app. It's called LibriVox, and you can get, I don't know, like 50,000 books for free, audio. People have taped them and put them up. You know, that generosity, putting up all those books on the internet. And I pulled out Mark Twain's Innocents Abroad. I've always been wanting to read it. While I was preparing some vegetables for lunch yesterday, I heard 3 chapters of it. But imagine somebody putting up a virus to destroy that work, or to invade something that somebody else is doing. So we have this thing also, this thing about missionaries, you know, that have done so much good work, and then there are people, they may have faults, and we need to recognize them and failings, but they brought the people reading, writing, arts, technology, human development, medical care. There's the sun, there's the sun, there's the sun, people. It's coming, it's coming. I see it. And it's right there at those leaves. Look at there. Look. Look at that, people. Isn't that beautiful? There with this reed. One leaf of the reed there is blocking your view a little bit. Maybe I just move a little tad here so you can see the sun undisturbed. We're at the Sea of Galilee, people. A lot of new people joined us. Welcome. So good morning. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat here at this beautiful location at Magdala on the Sea of Galilee. Oh, look at all those birds. Our squadron, we just caught them. There were tons of those 2 days ago in Jerusalem. It was amazing. So, people, how beautiful to be here this morning with you. And let's hear a little bit what the good Lord is saying to us today. And we followed the daily readings. So you got the link already in this post. Maybe you can't see it right now, but when we hang up, you can check it out and you can read it for yourself. So we're continuing with the book of Ezekiel, this incredible prophet of the exile. But I have to interrupt Ezekiel for 1 second because the light is coming in on the water here in an amazing way. And you need to see this. It's so beautiful. See, that bird agreed with you. Was it a bird? I don't think it was a frog. Look at that, people. Isn't that amazing? This incredible beauty is like it's on fire there. Look at the water right into here. Under the reeds. Wow, all that cloud. But cloud has a way, you know, it's a kind of the canvas where the divine artist does his magic. The clouds in our lives are opportunities for divine magic to happen, divine art, celestial art. There we are. So let's come back to Ezekiel, now that the sun is rising there. Oh, you see those birds? That was good timing. They're like parrots, and they're greenish in color. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, you live in the midst of a rebellious house. They have eyes to see but do not see, and ears to hear but do not hear. You know the little child, I saw one yesterday here with the family on vacation, and you know, like, I'm not sure, about 3 or 4 years old maybe, and an older brother, and he just didn't want to hear his mom. And he was in quite some mood. He was in a rebellion. And it's interesting, isn't it, how just like the sun is reflecting on the water, like the big rebellions of a whole people are also reflected in the development of a child and a teenager and people in love and people being fruitful and having children, multiply, fill the earth, and people aging, people being sick, people dying. That's what we discover in the archaeology. You know, the archaeology is all about dead peoples who have left behind their stuff, and you dig it up. Dead nations, dead cultures. It's amazingly interesting how we see the connections between how, you know, everything is really interrelated, and reflecting and connecting and enlightening. That's how Jesus was teaching us so much through nature and through social interactions, and the woman who lost the coin and celebrated with her friends. You know, to be able to contemplate, to notice the teachings, that the opening of our mind, the understanding. You know, people saw birds flying and they said, we need to fly. And look how far we've come, even out to space. And it's amazing. People will see trees waving in the wind, yielding to the wind but not breaking, and engineers and develop buildings, learning from nature. So much connected. So much connected. A rebellious people, a rebellious house, that have eyes to see but do not see, ears to hear but do not hear. Now, Son of man, during the day while they are looking on, prepare your baggage as though for exile. Look at that sun is going to disappear behind the cloud. And there's an exile going to happen. And Ezekiel has to show the people what's going to happen from God's perspective. And so he prepares his baggage for exile. And while they are looking on, migrate from where you live to another place. The word migrate is so much in our vocabulary. And not just in our vocabulary, so many people are migrants in incredible need. Completely uprooted, gone from their home place, which they built up over years with so much effort. Families uprooted, without their basic natural resources to defend their lives. The compassion we need, we're called to have. And also the lesson, because if they're uprooted, couldn't I be uprooted? If there are riots in the third world, well, can't there be riots in the first world? What about all the countries like 100 years ago? Can you imagine what happened 100 years ago in Russia? Or you go back, 200 years earlier, and you have the French Revolution and the fancy and the delight and the pleasures of the court of France, and all of a sudden there's a guillotine. It's amazing. "You rebellious house, you shall bring out your baggage like an exile in the daytime while they are looking on. And in the evening while they are looking on." This whole thing about looking on. We have to train our eyes to pick up the messages, the writings on the wall kind of thing, and we don't want to see it. The prophets were wonderful. When God speaks to us because He loves us. Like parents want to teach that child, don't go too close to the fire, you'll get burned. Be careful of that wall. It's wobbly. Don't walk on it. Have respect for reality. Otherwise you might be crushed under reality. I'll never forget that line when I was working in Germany, and Gorbachev came to East Germany, and it was ruled by Honecker. He was the so-called prime minister, basically, dictator in the communist system. And he said to him, "Notice how the times are changing, so change or be swept away with the times." I was very impressed by that comment. And sure enough, it wasn't even a year and Honecker was gone. And he was stubbornly resistant to the changes. He wanted to maintain the old communist establishment and order. Hey, the sun's coming out again, people. Look at that, where that bird was just flying a moment ago. Let me help you there. There we go. You see, it's peeping out there. It won't be peeping for too long because it has to deal with more cloud. So sometimes we have those moments in life, little moments of respite, and the battle continues, like the corona and the second wave, and difficulties in a marriage. And you get through one difficult point, and now there's a bit of calm, and then there's more difficulty. Raising a child, helping an addict to come back to reality, an alcoholic, person who has a bit of depression and can't work, and helping them to get back and to get confidence and to do something good and to praise it and to build it up. And then a cloud comes again and kind of negates our effort and stops it, Then in the morning the word of the Lord came to me, "Son of man, did not the house of Israel, that rebellious house, ask you what you were doing? Tell them, says the Lord God, the oracle concerns Jerusalem and the whole house of Israel within it. I am a sign for you. And you are the light of the world, you are the salt of the earth." Each one of us is a sign for the others, not just Ezekiel. So what kind of sign are we giving? This is a great mission, to be a sign for the others. And especially all of you who are with us here who are baptized, the way we talk about that as baptized Christians, and I know I'm saying this with great respect for all the others who are with us who are not baptized. You are the light of the world, you are the salt of the earth. So there's a big mission involved, a big mission. And then in that sense we're a sign, we're a source of guidance. And then we need to pray, because sometimes you can't see the light anymore, like it's gone. Like, where's that Christian? Well, there's a lot of cloud around there of selfishness, of lack of identity, of lack of clarity in the mission, And Ezekiel, like these prophets, were great because they were outstandingly clear in their communication of God's message. So let's move on to the psalm. "Do not forget the works of the Lord." And while the cloud is there, I want to show you a precious beauty that we saw a couple of months ago in the sunrise stroll and chat. And I want to show it to you because it's right here at my feet. I just noticed it about 10 seconds ago, and I have to show it to you. Look at this. What do you see here? Look, our morning glories, they're still blooming. Look at this, morning glory. Could almost be a symbol for our sunrise stroll and chat. Where are we, morning glory? Where'd you go? Let's go over here. 1 second, people, I need to change my tripod here. There we go. Look at this. Where did you go, morning glory? Down here. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Look at them. I didn't realize they were so big on the screen because I have it exposed to the maximum there. Look at that. Look at these beautiful morning glories. More of them over here. Come on. There's one. Where'd you go, guys? I'm trying to figure out how the camera zeroes in here. Let's get down closer, maybe that'll help. There's 3 of them down here. Come on, people. Morning glory, where are you? I can't believe it. I'm watching them with my eyes and I can't get the camera on them. No, the phone is rotating on me. Hey, I'm learning, people. You're seeing how I'm struggling. Trying to get this picture for you. Oh, there we are. Look at that little insect inside the flower. And the flower here on the screen is about 3 times bigger than it really is. Like if I put my finger down there, you can see the proportion. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? Morning glory. And look here again, our morning glory. Let me put this down again, it'll be easier. The sun is right there behind the reeds and the cloud. And it's not well out, there's quite a bit of cloud in front of it, but I can see exactly where it is. Well, you just saw there yourselves. There we are. That's amazing trellis, isn't it? So it's still in hiding now for another minute or two. So I wanted to do the beautiful verse of the Psalm for you. Do not forget the works of the Lord. From that little morning glory to the amazing sun 93 million miles away from us, that's enlightening our day, lighting up our world, nourishing us, warming us. Maybe a little bit too hot right now. Do not forget the works of the Lord, the plants, the genetics of the plants, the DNA. Do not forget the works of the Lord, where a baby comes from, how a marriage forms, how fidelity is forged. Do not forget the works of the Lord. That psalm is 78, and the verse is from verse 7b. What a beautiful motto for today. Do not forget the works of the Lord. And when we see the works of the Lord were also in Ezekiel. He did the works of the Lord. And he was a work of the Lord. And the incarnation was a work of the Lord. And your life is a work of the Lord. It's funny, isn't it, how we focus so much on the bad news that we forget all the good news. Hey, that bird like that. And so then the connection with the Lord. Obviously people have sometimes rough histories, they've suffered a lot of injustice, a lot of hardship. maybe have a lot of internal burdens that I don't have, mental conditions. Obviously I have my mental condition, but we all have our weakness in that. But some people are really taken by God through very tortuous paths, through jungles, especially in our world today. So much cloud and darkness in their lives. Very difficult circumstances. And the Alleluia verse today is from Psalm 119, that very long psalm, verse 135. Can you imagine how long it is? Let your countenance shine upon your servant and teach me your statutes. So we'll continue then. The gospel is very strong today about forgiveness, but we'll talk about that at the Mass later on this afternoon. So now I wish you so many blessings for today. May the Lord hold you in the palm of His hand. May the wind always be at your back. And may the road rise to meet you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Spread the word. Thank you for sharing so much. So many people are enjoying this. God bless you all. See you later.